Well, good morning to all of you. Mama, good morning.
Morning. Yeah. What?
Papa Kwejo and
and Nana Kwame. They are walking around. It's one of those days.
all these children, they are around here.
It's going to be one of those weeks. Yeah.
I have a great liking for the first, but the second one, when I saw him today, I think I love that guy.
My children you're talking about like that.
Yeah.
You know they can hear you and they can see you.
I know, right? Okay.
One said, I want to be like Uncle Roland.
Yeah.
Well, let's do the newspapers.
But before then,
okay.
One of our colleagues, who is the producer of the Super Morning Show, says that King Ramsey Kweku Bako, that the first son, 7 years, is having his birthday this morning. Okay. So happy birthday to you.
Is the birthday just this morning or today?
Today. Good morning to you, King Ramsey Kweku Bako. I don't know whether the name is
7 today.
Yes,
happy
and then this one is coming from your mom also, Isha, as well as your siblings, Princess Fatia, Amma, and Roy, Case, and Kofi, all of them called Bako. And this one, okay. Apparently it's from Kweku Bako.
So I said to you that, are you talking about Sami or Dami?
Yeah, it's from Kweku Bako. So it's from Kweku Bako. And Kweku Bako is having...
Roland, you've massacred this one.
Yeah, it's from his son. I didn't get it because it's from Samuel Dame, that's why. So it's from Kweku Bako, who is celebrating...
The street lawyer.
The 7th anniversary of his son coming into this world. Congratulations to all of you. I hope that the family will have a quiet time as well as some good time in the evening later.
All right, with that cleared, let's do the newspapers now. And I listen, Roland, yesterday we had a very good time on the show. I hope that you didn't miss any of what we brought to you. After speaking to 3 wonderful women and trying to explore where they had come from in terms of their careers and where they are and where they hope to be, we also spoke to a young lady, Grace, who is visually impaired, but who is a teacher. She's doing her national service in Elmina, completed the University of Cape Coast. And some of the things that she said, I thought we would just bring a little reminder. But on the back of that, we got lots of messages that, unfortunately, because of time, we couldn't share. Hopefully, we'll be able to do a bit of that. So let's do the newspapers. We will try and get Grace, to kick us if you have not been kicked enough to continue the day. So keep watching. We'll bring you a bit of Grace, a playback of what Grace told us yesterday when she joined us on the show. But let's do the newspapers. Let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper. And on the front page of the paper, your pensions are safe. President assures workers. So President Akufo-Addo, in the company of his Vice President, Muhammadu Bawumia, Simon Osei-Mensah, the Ashanti Regional Minister, Dr. Yauba, Secretary General of the Trades Union Congress, Ignatius Bafo-Ewua, Minister of Employment and Labor Relations, and then there's a Reverend Richard Kusi Yeboah, Chairperson of the TUC, at the National May Day celebration in Kumasi. And this picture, captured by Samuel Tay at Dano, is making the front page headline, essentially telling you about what went down on Labor Day, Workers' Day yesterday. But the main celebration was in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi. We know that in the regions, including Greater Accra, there were activities to mark the day as well. So at the Black Star Square, we had something going on and some concerns also being shared by workers. But the angle is that your pensions are safe. Also, IMF approves $191 million for Ghana and the ECF program. And then President launches Builders Core. It will engage 100,000 graduates. The launch was before the observation of the May Day by the President yesterday. That story is on page 3. We know that there's been lots of questions asked earlier in our news. You saw reactions and people saying that they will not sign on to the COPS. Is it a COPS or is it a call? But seriously, on a serious note, so we'll have most of your questions. Hopefully all your questions will be answered because we'll be joined by the coordinator of this particular project who will join us, and then we'll have a conversation. You can send in your questions way ahead of that conversation as well. Okay, let's see what's in the center spread of the paper. Okada in Ghana, to legalize or not to legalize. There's a special feature And this won't be the first time that the Daily Graphic is put in the spotlight on this particular issue. You can read all about it in the center spread. It's a special feature in the center spread of the paper. On the back page, CWSA. That's the Community Water and Sanitation Agency, directed to manage water systems in Northern Region for efficiency. And then also inaccessible, affordable energy. Bain for Development, that's the Chief Executive Officer and Special Representative to the United Nations Secretary General for Sustainable Energy for All, has observed that majority of the world's population are missing out on education, health, jobs, and broader economic opportunities because they do not have access to clean, affordable energy. That story in detail is on the back page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. So really that will be it. There are other stories in the paper that might interest you. Roland?
All right, so we have to go to the Daily Guide. Daily Guide has on the front page 100,000 jobs for grabs. President launches builders core. There's a good one there. 100,000 jobs for graduate.
You know
if you're having a diploma, higher national diploma, as well as a degree or postgraduate degree, you're in for the 700 Ghana Cedis, cool one for you.
Somebody said, in the news,
tend to learn your trade.
In the news, look, Roland, when you were reading the news, the reactions that were coming from, this was as it was launched. Prince Appiah spoke to a couple of people.
And the young.
One person said, we have the same qualification, and you are at Konfanoche. We're laboratory technicians, but the only difference is that you are permanently employed and I am on the Nations Builders Corps. We're doing the same kind of work. However, you're getting like 2,000 and I'm getting like 700. So some people are trying to make that analogy and say that, you know what, I'm better off staying at home until I get a permanent job. I don't know what you think about that.
Well, I think...
Not you, Roland. I see you're in a very difficult place, so please continue.
Well...
I like you like that.
I don't know. Sometimes you find yourself
it's
between
difficult.
A catch-22 situation.
Yeah, it's difficult.
There was one thing that, that very respondent said something that I don't know whether saddened me or perhaps also pointed to the real issues about the questions being asked is if there's an opportunity in the workplace where I am a builder core member, why don't you then make me permanent or employ me? So then got me asking, is government really having the opportunity to employ people? If government doesn't have the opportunity, this is the best way to make people employable.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I call this employment. Because it's supposed to be a platform for you to graduate to the next level.
Yeah.
Because if you ask me, from all I'm seeing, I think there's no place in the public sector for workers. And largely, many of them will be working around the public sector agency. So there are places for them to work. But it looks like there's no capacity to keep them in that place.
Yeah.
As in, get them employed, permanent, and continuously pay their emoluments for them, because you pay your salary, your state benefits, other allowances, and all that. Yeah. So
we'll explore this issue. We'll explore this issue. Lots of questions bugging all of us. We'll try and find the answers.
But and then the other question that had been asked also on social media, and I know what the buzz is around, is that 600 million has been budgeted in the 2018. So it means next year, what is going to be the budget? Because definitely inflation is going to affect what they are earning, etc. So are you going to keep them 700 for 3 years?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. You're
doing 700 for 3 years. That's if you're going to...
And then the 600, I know, based on the information I have, is for the setting up of the secretariat and then the implementation of the program. That's 600. So next year, how much is it going to be? And if, let's say, we decided...
Well, let's work with what we have now. At least we know that this is going to last for the next 3 years.
Right.
So let's work with what we have. There are other, questions in between, but let's put that to the national coordinator.
600 million is 150 million US dollars.
I know you're going to say some footballer somewhere is earning that in, but let's save the rest for the coordinator when he joins us.
All right.
You're done?
I'm not done. I'm just pausing. Okay, Opuni is the Daily Guide. We'll continue. Opuni sues Yoko, and we know that his accounts were frozen. He says they have to be defrozen. So we hope that the court will
he went to court for that.
Yes,
and
so
then he succeeded, but only for it to be.
Yes. Now he's gone back to sue
it's
Yoko.
like chess, right?
Yeah, gone to the court to say that Yoko needs to unfreeze my account again. CID grills double pay suspects, and government dishes out oil blocks. Okay. So we have the center spread. The center spread is a News One poll says Abeku Santana condemns killing of Mole Park elephants. It says Ghana Abeku Santana has described as a shame the killing of elephants at Mole National Park, one of Ghana's tourism sites in the north. Wow. It says some youth from Larabanga near Damango in the West Gonja district of the northern region on Thursday, April 26, killed 2 elephants that had strayed into the community from the Mole National Game Reserve. They shouldn't have killed it. Wow. According to the report, they allegedly attacked some officials from the Wildlife Division and snatched a weapon from one of the forest guards who had gone to the scene where the 2 elephants were killed. In some countries, if you kill animals from the wild, it's a jail sentence for you. All right. Woman defiles lawsuit against Usher. Okay. Woman refiles lawsuit against Usher or Usher. Depends.
Are you talking about ushering in the church or
the musician?
Usher the musician?
What's his name?
You're confusing me.
Usher.
What did you say?
Oh, Usher.
What did you say?
Usher. Usher.
You said Usher.
Usher also.
The
Pentecost.
Yeah, old school, Papa.
Usher. London. And
he's not British, I beg you.
But you understand that.
He's not British. I was confused.
It's Usher. Usher. Let me read this thing again. Woman refiles lawsuit against
Usher.
Usher. The musician. Woman refiles lawsuit against Usher. No, it's not Usher. Usher is the one we say at church. We say Usher. We have them, then you put Usher. Usher nowhere. Sometimes, so you look like a problem. It's a shaman life. It's not good.
Okay, move on.
Now let's move on. I'm in love, not afraid to admit. Hey, this is coming from Davido. So Davido says Nigerian singer Davido has publicly declared that he's in love with Chioma Avril-Rowland, an economics undergraduate of the Lead City University. Davido, who said he's not afraid to admit it, discloses during Rowland's pre-birthday bash at
your pre-birthday bash.
No, not me, the lady.
Okay.
Cabana Club Lagos on Sunday. He said, I'm in love. Some people are in love. They are scared to say it. I'm not. Davido.
But I like that. I like that dude.
Yeah.
I saw a bit of his performance at the Big Brother Nigeria finals, where he was removing his belt and shoes and giving it out to the people.
He's on a tour now for his. So he's been doing a tour of Africa and then the UK.
I really do like him.
I thought he couldn't sing live. Apparently, in some of the shows he could sing live. Yeah, I was surprised.
Are you kidding me?
No, I always thought Wizkid was good at live, but he's good at live.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's good.
I know he's a rich kid who works hard.
Yes.
And he comes out with amazing music.
I think he doesn't let the fame.
That's why I like
the richest.
Yeah,
he works hard
him. I like him. Like he's rich and he works hard.
Yeah. To get more rich. Shatawale breaks silence on breakup with Shatamichi. Is there? Kechi, Kwame Appiah, Frank Pozo, others for US.
What did he say about Shatamichi? I'm curious.
Okay, so apparently he was on Daybreak on Hits FM with Andy Dusty.
Okay.
He says the current status of his relationship with Shatamichi.
It's complicated.
Is a bit coded and complicated. I just want to take it on the low for now. That's what he said.
Okay.
Low tempo, good tempo.
Did he sing that?
Yeah, I think there's a song like that. Go tempo. Joel, what was it? Low tempo, go tempo, low tempo.
Okay, I guess that will be it for the Daily Guide.
Yeah.
Let's continue with the Find a newspaper. And on the front page of the paper, launch of Nation Builders Core, bold step to tackle joblessness, 100,000 jobs for graduates, additional 80,000 jobs by YEA. Also, Bank of Ghana assures public of strong banking sector. There's also breakthrough made in malaria resistance management in the country. Ghana's economic prospects and growth looks good, according to our president. Hatred of journalism threatens democracies. That story is on page 17 in the paper. I guess a bit of that would do. And also on page 5, this bit about a breakthrough in malaria resistance management. It says the Ghana Health Service on Monday said a major boost to its malaria control effort has been made with the introduction of the second, third generation action indoor residual spraying project to tackle the insecticide resistance challenge. The 3G IRS project, that's how they refer to it, which is a 4-year, $65.1 million US dollars unit aid funded market sharpening initiative launched in 2016, is to expand the use of 3G IRS products as part of insecticide resistance management strategies in Africa. Quite a mouthful. You can read all about it in the newspaper. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. On page 15, I think. Yeah. On page 15 in the newspaper. Oh, I thought they said page 15. It's a story. Oh, no, 17, not 15.
I wanted to say we should call all this. Why today? Our favorite newspaper is not.
You know, it's World Press Freedom Day tomorrow, but yes, it's also being observed, you know, more like from the 2nd to the 3rd, even though the 3rd is the main day. So this is a piece that's been written. Says the 2018 World Press Freedom Index, compiled by Reporters Without Borders, reflects growing animosity towards journalists, hostility towards the media, openly encouraged by political leaders, and the efforts of authoritarian regimes to export their vision of journalism pose a threat to democracies. The climate of hatred is steadily more visible in the index, which evaluates the level of press freedom in 180 countries each year. So they put Turkey down to at 157 and Egypt's 61st, where media phobia is now so pronounced that journalists are routinely accused of terrorism, and all those who don't offer loyalty are arbitrarily in prison. So you can read all about the index. They talk about Norway and North Korea first and last again in 2016. So Norway first and North Korea last in the index. Norway is first for the 2nd year running, followed as it was last year by Sweden. Okay, so they'll give you a breakdown. I guess if you go really into details, you find where the African countries are featured. But, you know, on an occasion where we're observing Press Freedom Day, we will certainly have to remember our friend and our colleague Lateef Idris. Is still justice for Lateef. We have not still heard in terms of the investigations by the police, and we know some police members of the police force beat Lateef up, not in the streets, not in some corner somewhere, but at the premises of the Ghana Police Service. And it's been a month now. It's been a little over a month. We're looking for justice for Lateef. We will talk into detail, God willing, tomorrow here on the show. So really, the highlights of other stories in the Finder newspaper. Roland?
All right, so let's look at the Ghanaian Times. On the front page of the Ghanaian Times, we have government offers 100,000 jobs to graduates under the Nation Builders Corps. We told you. And we're likely to have a good link into the studio with the national coordinator for the Nation Builders Corps. We'll have all the answers that you want answered. No, the questions that you want answered.
Roland, are you okay?
Answered for
Let me help you. Pato, Eswotiano in BA sends a message with regards this. Says paying university graduates 700 cedis a month and president calling this job. Then he should employ. Okay, no, I can't say what you said, but you said our leaders should be serious for once. Pato not happy about this. This one says those complaining about this opportunity should understand that it's just a platform to help you look for other opportunities. Some graduates are taking 400 cedis and you are complaining about 700 cedis. Life is about starting from one point and working towards your goal. Don't compare yourself to others. So it's more for against. We'll read more of your messages. Roland.
All right. So it's there. It's on page 16 of the Ghanaian Times. We have other stories as well. Economic prospects growth promising, according to the president, as part of his New Year message. May Day message. That's on page 17. Now we have Ghana marks May Day, and it's on page 15 as well. Minority wraps government over political appointees, and that story is on page 11 of the paper, the Ghanaian Times. And the minority, they issued a statement and saying it was worrying the concerns being raised by Closer. They had to put it there, so they put it there, and they said, well, the Akufo-Addo-led government that came into power on the back of many catchy campaigns, etc. One district, they mentioned all that they are yet to see fruition of those promises. It's all of them there. All right.
You're through?
Yeah, I think I'm through. The back page, though, has GRA seizing more than 400 vehicles in the Greater Accra region just within 4 months. And it says the Ghana Revenue Authority has apparently impounded more than 400 vehicles in the Greater Accra region from January to April this year for failure by owners to pay the required duty. Last year, about 754 of such cars were seized in the process, failure to pay duty. So they all rounded up around Accra. Ashma, that's the Ashama Municipal Assembly Task Force on Friday. This is quantities of assorted illegal drugs. Some of them include tramadol hydrochloride, tramadol. We also had Nufenac, aphrodisiac substances, black cobra pills, osteo pills, Yokohama Botox enlarging substance, and other concoctions were concealed in polyethylene.
Botox enhancement pill.
Bum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Enhancement pill or bum.
Bum. Botox.
Enhancement.
Botox
pill.
enhance. Enlarging.
Enlarge. Oh, enlarge.
Okay.
Okay, you're through?
Is that true in Ghana?
Yeah. Sometimes you can see some artificial ones. You're a man. When you see artificial, don't you see?
Yeah, some of them there. The shapes are just too good to be true. So you keep wondering, how? How can this be too moisturized?
Hey, Roland.
It's not easy.
Let's stick to the newspapers. Let's do the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Front page. One of Akufo-Addo's promises to workers, single spine pay policy will be reviewed soon. That's the banner headline story here in the paper. National Executives elections, MPP to bag over 200,000 Ghana cedis. Sylvester Mensah takes on MPP government over NHIS debts. JDM will not bring back Galamsey, according to his spokesperson, Bawa Mokhtari. So these are the front page headlines. The Daily Dispatch newspaper. Let's quickly round it off with the Business and Financial Times newspaper. Front page, consumers lament cost of Burkinabe tomatoes. Give priority to local firms in new oil deals. The free trade agreements, is Ghana positioned well to benefit? This tomato story, page 3, says the price of imported fresh tomatoes has sharply increased as traders now have to travel up north to neighboring Burkina Faso to buy fresh tomatoes for sale on the local market. This perennial shortage of the vegetable and reliance on Ghana's northern neighbor to meet local demand for the commodity shows no sign of abating. And I'll show you. I bought tomatoes 1, 2, 3, 4 for 5 cedis. I couldn't believe it. I had to take a picture of it.
I bought 5 smaller ones for 5 cedis.
So
just after the show, no.
I was shocked.
So I'd wanted to go and blend some hot pepper. So I bought it.
I asked the woman.
So I asked the young lady. And these are small, they're not big ones.
I'll show you mine because I took a shot of what I bought.
5 of it.
Mine was 4.
5 cedis.
Mine was 4.
I said 5 cedis.
Yeah.
And then I asked, so the one there, so that's 15,000. I said, what is 15,000? It says 15 Ghana.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are the Burkina ones.
Well, I think so. I think what I bought, yes. Yeah.
The Burkina ones, they are the hard ones.
Yeah, they're the hard ones. Yeah, because usually you were looking for fresh.
I'm told that the reason why the traders like the Burkina ones is because the shelf life of those, I think the species that they grow there is better than ours. I was in
and it rots quickly.
In Chebiana, a problem. So we have scientists who went to KNUST.
Oh, Roland, stop! Don't even
From
go
Ghana.
there. Let's do some
and
of
the
your
varieties
messages.
they are given to our farmers
are bad.
So people have to go to Burkina.
This is the point where we disagree. We disagree on many things. This is one of those.
The varieties they are given to our farmers are not good. They have to go to Burkina Faso and netting.
So what's the basis for what you're saying? What's the basis?
We have scientists. Let's do my job online. If I see
the moment I begin to question you, you give up.
No, I'll be sent to.
You make serious allegations.
It's not allegation. When I say you say,
I
don't want to be sent to the Privileges Committee of Parliament.
Listen, we'll take it to the public court. They'll finish you. Let's do some of your messages. This one says, I'm a staff of the Ghana Health Service Northern Region. I submitted my document for the conversion since November 2017. Till now, I haven't received my conversion letter. Why should everything in the Northern Region be attended to late? Other regions have received theirs already. We appeal to the authorities to at least consider us also. Labato is in Tamale, and he sends this WhatsApp message. This one says, you're bigging us up. Says, kudos to Mr. President and the entire government for having the youth of our beloved country at hearts. Okay, it's from Buzua in Gushego sending this message. Let's quickly do myjoyonline.com. Okay, well, we're getting ready for that, but why don't we listen to Grace? If we can, let's listen to Grace. Grace is visually impaired, but she's an incredible, amazing person. She's an entrepreneur in her own right, but also a teacher. So she's doing her national service now after completing the University of Cape Coast. She was on the show yesterday, and here's a bit of what she had to tell us.
I became blind at the age of 13, and aside that, I grew up in an orphanage. For some an orphan, they brought me there since birth. And according to the story I met, my mother died whilst giving birth to me and all those stuff. So at the age of 13, all of a sudden, I became blind just like that. I woke up one day, my eyes got swollen, and they took me to the hospital. The doctor couldn't get the actual problem, and as of that, till now I'm blind.
You didn't see it or feel it coming? You didn't?
No
itching or anything of a sort?
I didn't feel anything of that sort. I started feeling those things after the blindness, rather.
And they said they couldn't do anything about it?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did that change your life? At age 13, you were just a teenager.
It was a whole lot. When it happened that way, you feel very bad for the first 1 year at least. Because at first you can see, and all of a sudden they have to hold your hands before you do whatever you want to do. It's a whole lot. But everything is possible if you want to. So despite all the problems or the challenges, I was able to go through some things,
nice.
By the grace of God.
Okay. But you were telling us a story of how you ended up as a teacher.
Yes, please. So when it happened that way, I was still in the orphanage, and one man came there to visit us. He talked about school for the blind, but being in an orphanage, unless you have a sponsor. And at that time, people don't know much about visual impairment. They thought when you get into such a condition, that's the end. So it was a whole lot. The man has to help me to get to school for the blind. The man is called Francis Agbeko, because the orphanage is in the Volta region.
Okay.
Yeah, so he helped us, and when I got to school for the blind, when I come back, still those in the orphanage, the help wasn't that much. There was and aside that too, they've not seen any visually impaired gotten that far. So in fact, they were discouraged in helping me.
Were you the only visually impaired at the orphanage at the time?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, the only visually impaired, and the first visually impaired they've ever seen.
Wow.
So it was so difficult, but when I come back from school during the vacation, I realized, in fact, how to go back is a problem. So I have to ask some of the children to help me to the bush to cut some trees, then I'll come and gather them, prepare charcoal, sell to buy uniform. Sometimes I prepare granules with sugar, I can't call cat cake.
Yeah.
Yes. And I also prepare broom and all those things to sell.
All by yourself?
Yes, please.
Wow.
Yeah. So before we resume school, then at least I'll get my school uniform in some of the first. So even at that time, the gari I used to take to school, I fried the gari myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
You did that yourself?
Yes, please.
Okay, but as we do the transition for you getting into the whole profession in itself and going through schooling, how did you try to acclimatize initially when you were diagnosed or you were having your sight failing? How did you try to get grip with the reality of your situation?
Wow. For that one, you see, it has already happened. So you have to adapt to it. You have nothing to do. Even if you keep thinking, crying on all those things, still you are in the situation. So you better think of how to move forward rather. Okay. It was so something. What I use in preparing my shito.
Maybe you can give us the formula. But you're still doing catering. I hear you take orders as well.
Yes. After GHS, by God's grace, I met OKF for Osei Foundation, and they helped me throughout SHS and then the university as well. But whilst they were paying my fees, you know, you can't just leave everything like that. Although, in fact, Dr. Kofi Osei is my best daddy I've ever met. Despite my orphan, that was a past tense. Currently, I have a sweet daddy I've ever met. He's very, very good. In fact, he will not pay only fees, but he will provide your needs too as well. But me, I'm somebody, I hate leaving all my burdens on somebody just like that. So that's why that I used to prepare pastries. I learned it from a friend without her notice. You know, when she's preparing it, because I can't see, I'll go and sit beside her. Then she'll think, oh, she can't see. Then she'll be like, take this thing for me. Then I'll be asking questions. Hey, really? So after mixing this, what do you use? This, that, and I use in learning all of them.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Through the oratory?
Yes.
Wow.
So I learned chips, donuts, polo, cake.
You do achomo?
Yes. Very good at achomo.
Very good at achomo.
I did one for Daddy the other time, so he likes it a lot.
You know, one of the things, your adopted father, when I spoke to him, I was asking, do you have pictures? Because we really want to see Grace preparing something. Maybe we can come home and take shots of you preparing. That would be good sometime. Yeah. But how was your UCC days? Because that's where you went to university.
Yes. For UCC too, my dad was providing a lot. But I used to prepare those things. So after informing people about it, they used to give me an order. When someone is about to celebrate his or her birthday, or maybe they have a dinner or a certain handing over program, they give me an order. So I used to prepare those things, and then at least I'll take my little coins from them. So after that too, as I used to take those coins, I gathered some, sorry. So when I get to level 200 second semester, I used to pick things like dresses, shoes, panties, and all those things to sell.
Oh, really?
Yes, of course.
Wow.
And I'm still in that up till now. So
you still sell?
Yes, I still sell. Even the things I'm wearing, some are
some of the products you have. I see.
So for now, when I was in UCC, I used to carry the things from room to room, you know. Then I sell evenings when I'm free. I don't have a lecture. I take the things around. But for now, I'm doing my national service at Ednaman Senior High in Elmina. So I used to carry the things to the teachers in the school, and sometimes I bring some of the things to UCC, and then I take most of them to Winneba campus, the University of Winneba. So people know me there. And they buy.
So you come all the way from Elmina, or you go all the way from Elmina to
Winneba.
To Winneba.
Yes.
That's a distance.
Of course. Of course, but you know, there is nothing impossible.
Well, that was yesterday.
Yeah, this was Grace. And listen, there's so much I like about Grace. I mean, she smiled throughout. She was laughing a lot. And I was like, Charlie, what's your worry? What's your worry?
I love her innocence.
What's your worry,
you know,
Roland?
She's innocent about whatever happens around her. And I think I love that.
She says,
if only we could be blind to all the negatives and all the things.
Yeah. There's a certain message that we will play, especially from her, one of these days, because she sent a message talking about how visually impaired persons or persons with disabilities should be included in our national conversations and in the decisions that we make. So that's Grace, who's currently doing her national service as a teacher. She absolutely loves it, and we enjoyed her on the show. We hope that a little of what she said this morning would motivate you, you know, to think positive. Yeah.
Well, we have to do sports, but let's quickly run through what we have by way of the post on the online portals.
Okay, this is myjournline.com. It's a home for us. Ex-workers of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority blame Mahama for unpaid benefits since 2002, and there are over 3,000 former workers whose full benefits have remained unpaid since their retrenchment in 2002. They've stated that government was insensitive to their plight. Details of that, you can click on the story on myjournline.com. Moving on. Labour expert dismisses TUC's call for review of labour law. UCC 22 rusticated student, remember, they've been recalled after court. So those who finished the school, as in wrote their final exams, but their certificates were withheld, it's going to be released now. Those who didn't quite complete, they're being asked to, you know, return and continue. There was a back and forth in court as well, but this is the decision that they've taken after some meetings, the school authorities. Okay. African businesses are driving economic integration on the continent faster than policymakers.
Okay, so basically meaning that the private sector is doing well than the public sector, than the politicians who had the problem. Public court.
Government to review single spine paid policy. The President Akufo-Addo stated yesterday that his administration seeks to establish a world-class labor force comparable to any in the world. Fight over May Day T-shirts, mass celebration in Wa. So some people, Charlie, some of the absurd things, the weird things that you hear sometimes, they refuse to celebrate, go to the celebrations ground to observe the day because they didn't get T-shirts. Because apparently every year the T-shirts are distributed at least a day before the event, but they realize that when they give the T-shirts out, the people don't even show up. So they decided to distribute the T-shirt to the people who actually make it on the event day, and because of that, a lot of people decided not to go. Oh, weird. Okay. All right, let's move on. Replacing civil servants with political appointees unacceptable, according to Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu. And then Shatta Wale breaks silence on breakup with Shatta Michi. Stories. Okay, so that's him speaking on Hits FM, Daybreak Hits, 103.9 FM. All right, if you run through, we've got lots of stories. RTI bill attacks on journalists remain top concerns as Ghana marks Press Freedom Day. Oponisius Iyoko again for freezing his accounts, and there are many other stories, including what you've missed here on JoyNews. You can always catch up on myjournline.com. This is where we have to end it, but later on this morning, right after sports, we'll bring you AM Business. We're focusing on Cosmos Innovative Center Agritech Challenge. It seeks to facilitate technology-based solutions to resolve problems in the agricultural value chain. So that's what's coming up in AM Business right after sport here on the AM show. And some of your messages just before we rise and bring you sports. Of course, headline in sports is Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich fought a good fight, but maybe a good fight too late, perhaps. They've been kicked out of the UEFA Champions League. We know Real Madrid is going through. And later tonight, we will find out if it is Roma or Liverpool who will be meeting Real Madrid. But Real Madrid has done this. This is third consecutive time at the sports. Yeah? It's incredible.
Yep.
Okay, let's thank Babil, Clement thank Babil in Laura sends me a message, and Clement says, you know, when I said I was going to send Roland to the public court, he says, if I do that and they finish him, I'll be lonely. So don't try it at all. I'm not going to try it. Thank you, Clement. This one says, Kofi in Swedro, thank you so much for the sweet words. And this one says, Mama V Grace made us proud. This means disability is not inability. Isaka Garu in Tempani. And this one says, I hope you have received your salary already because you have not been talking about it again. Good morning to you all. Anthony, inside Chama in the Volta region. Massa, it has cleared. So I am not talking about it.
Not only clear, it has finished. So start complaining from next week.
Oh my God. Okay, lots of messages that we've received, but let's talk sports now. We'll come back to more of your messages a bit later on in the show. But we thank you, for getting interactive with us. Benedict.
Yes, Mama. Yeah, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine by God.
I enjoyed the match yesterday.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was a good
attacking football.
Yeah, it was just that, what I told you, that normally when you go when you go away, when you play at home and you lose and you go away, you try to do everything possible to get an early goal, and that's exactly what Bayern Munich did. But they lost concentration, and Benzema punished them.
Especially the second goal.
The second goal. And look at the time it
was
came.
on the cheap.
Yeah, it was on the cheap, and the goalkeeper was a mistake through the goalkeeper and Tolisso. He got a back pass and he couldn't clear. Initially, when the back pass came, I think first was to either kick or to touch the ball. You understand? And if you touch the ball, it becomes an indirect free kick. If you touch the ball indirect free kick, you'll be given a yellow card as well. If you're not lucky, it could be a red card. So I'm sure that played on the goalkeeper's mind and was like, okay, then let me try and just kick the ball, and he miskicked it, and Benzema capitalized on that and scored. It was just unfortunate. I would have loved for Bayern
Munich?
Yeah, Bayern not to go through, but at least get
it should have been tougher
time, an extra time should have been
to make the match.
So you see, I think it's just the loss at home. That's what did the. Because if it was even a draw at home,
even if they had drawn, it would have been a different thing altogether.
Yeah,
but it's been nice, especially this year's UEFA Champions League. You see how Real Madrid consistently.
But we don't want Champions League should not be so predictable, you know.
No,
Real
I think
Madrid
they know how to play the Champions League.
They just know how to play, because I've heard people say that Real Madrid have not been good this season in the Champions League. But I mean, I will not go with that, because they beat the Italian champions. They beat the French champions, and now they're beating the German champions. So it tells you that you can talk about how Real Madrid are not playing.
I think they know how to play.
They know how to play,
because the Champions League is played with a certain finesse, and sometimes you don't have to get the numbers of possession per the percentage.
So it will be good for them to meet Liverpool, because they are
talking about Zidane not being a good coach. Who is a good coach?
No, now he's a good coach. I believe.
But who is a good coach?
No, it's not now he's a good coach. He's been winning.
Yeah, initially I thought he was not. Now I'm convinced.
Third final in 3 years.
Yeah.
Who's done that?
He's
okay, Benedict, you've got this plus other stories. So we've got midweek fixtures at home. Arrived yesterday.
Has the Dogboy landed?
Yeah, he landed.
Dogboy.
Yeah, Dogboy arrived there.
He taught me, actually.
It's
Dogboy.
Really?
Yeah.
Dogboy.
Yeah. But you, sports journalist in this our country, Ghana.
They don't ask their person.
There's a difference between Dogbe and Dogboy.
Dogboy is the one that ends with
Stop calling him Dogbe.
And then this one is
Dogboy. From your side.
It's O-E.
Dogboy.
Isaac Dogboy. He's in Ghana.
Yeah, he's in Ghana. He arrived last night.
So
you hear
from me.
He touched down yesterday when there was the whistle was almost like a few minutes to end the game. Like when.
No, I think he touched down, but didn't come out until some few minutes.
It was a bit chaotic at the airport.
So we'll show that as well.
Nat was
then
reporting.
Ghana Premier League, Ghana Premier League is on this afternoon as well.
All right, so over to you.
So we'll take a break here. When we are back, 7 will join me. We'll look at the Champions League and also look at the other issues.